Whether you've just stumbled across an old flame on Facebook or been trading tweets with, the hottie who works down the hall at work, there's a fine line between friendly chatting and downright cheating. And here to explain just kind of where that line lies is sexologist Trina Read. Trina, thanks for coming in. And this is a very hot topic right now.
It is. And I think, 25 years ago, cheating was black and white. You went behind your spouse's back, had an affair. Now there's all these subcategories to cheating. So is it an emotional cheat? Are you doing it on Skype? Are you sexting? Like, what's going on? And because there's so many subcategories, it's all shades of gray. And it's hard to talk to your partner about what is cheating when it's not a black and white issue.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I guess, so do you have anything definitive in terms of what you tell people to look out for, or is it something that is between partners in terms of a decision that you make that decides where the line is?
Well, that's exactly it. What you consider cheating, what I consider cheating, all very different. So, and I especially find flirting, I've done a lot of topics, and flirting is probably the most couple contentious issue. So you've got to really decide as a couple what constitutes flirting or chatting. So if you're sitting on Facebook and your ex pops up and you have a nostalgic talk, I mean, that's sweet and it's nice and it's harmless, but if you don't discuss that with your partner to say, okay, sometimes I'm going to be on Facebook and sometimes I'm going to chat with them, if you need to discuss that with your partner, and if you can't discuss it, then it's probably going to be construed as cheating, and that's the problem.
You're talking about setting the boundaries off the get-go, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting. What are some of the stats, like when it comes to men and women? Do men do it more? Women do it more? Like, how's it all break down?
Well, I found a very interesting online survey by AshleyMadison.com. Now, if you haven't heard of Ashley Madison, it's the place where married people go to have relationships. And so what I liked about this survey was it got into the mind of a cheater. So it's things that we would think about with cheating. 63% of the people said and there was over 5,000 people who responded. So 63% said they had cheated online. 74% said they had cheated in real life. But what was interesting to me is that women could find all kinds of guys, but men could only find one or two women. Okay. And when it came to cyber sex, if the people had previously engaged in cyber sex, women were 3 times more likely to engage in online cheating. Men were 4 times more likely to engage in online cheating. But interestingly, it did not affect if a woman's want, will, to desire to cheat in real life, but it doubled the man's will, want, and desire to cheat in real life.
Because that's what it seems to me, that this provides the slippery slope that would inevitably, on occasion, lead to these types of things. I mean, I don't know how you followed these stats, but do more people cheat now than they used to because of these online and texting and stuff like that?
Well, another survey that I found that was not just normal people. It was about 1,000 people, and about 19% of people cheated online. So when we look at the stats of cheating, generally, over a lifetime, 53% of people tend to cheat on their spouse. So when we look at online cheating, a much lower number are cheating, so-called cheating online, and maybe that's because it is shades of gray. So we haven't really defined what cheating is online, so we can't really give it that hard statistic of 53% have cheated in real life.
Right, interesting.
Speaking of the shades of gray and just how gray can be in certain things, how do you, if you're a person and you do get kind of reached out to on Facebook or via Twitter by someone who used to be an old flame, how do you know where to set the boundary yourself? Because obviously, you don't want to offend your partner or do anything that you don't want to, you don't want to get into trouble with stuff.
This is my hard and fast rule. Yeah. If you cannot tell your partner what you're up to, even if it's absolutely innocent, so you want to walk down nostalgia road with an ex and there's nothing going on, there's nothing going to happen, and if you can't tell your partner, then you shouldn't be doing it. Okay. It's only, if they walk in on you and you're sitting and chatting and say, what are you up doing, that's deceptive, that's deceiving them. So if you can't tell them, then you shouldn't be doing it.
There you go.
Man, oh man. There is so much to this. It's unbelievable. As there is to everything you talk about. How do people find you if they want to read your blog post?
They can go to my website, trinaread.com. And there's a ton of information on cheating and relationships, and you name it, it's on my website.
I read something yesterday about the chemical release. I mean, there's certain people who are more prone to. There's so
Dopamine,
much dopamine addicts, right? It's kind of like.
Well, no, there's a gene, the DRD4 gene, that if it has. It can release too many dopamine hormones, and that would propel a person to want to cheat more.
Oh boy.
That's just complicated.
We'll have links at breakfasttelevision.ca so you can get in touch with Trina. Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you.
lovely to see you.
Yeah, you guys too. Yeah.